boys and girls, Brucey here, and today I am answering a question I get asked all the time by my students, and also I've been asked quite a few times online as well. And it's how do you finish a song? How do you write a song? How do you get these things done? It's quite simple really, and I'm going to give you a few tips in this video about how you get this done and how you get these things finished. The most important thing to take into consideration is that word I just said, finish. You have to finish stuff. If you want to be an artist, if you want to be successful, if you want things to exist in the world and people to appreciate them, then you have to finish them. Having 10,000 unfinished loops on a hard drive somewhere, 4-bar loops, 8-bar loops, it's really hard, I think, for you to call yourself a musician at that point of view. We're all guilty of it. We've all got lots of ideas, you know, but something like this. It's a cool riff, it's a cool idea, but it's not a song. And this leads us on to the important part of this lesson that I'm trying to get across to you. If you want to finish and if you want to write songs, then you need to get into a workflow and a frame of mind where you actually write the whole song. And part of the problem is I blame computers, I blame DAWs, because we've all got them now, we've all got access to them, and it's very easy to get into this process. We've all been there, and some of us are stuck there. And getting unstuck in this part of the workflow, in this part of the process, will mean that you will finish more music, you will get more things done. We've got this idea. So we think, oh, that's a great idea. I don't want to fed it. I don't want to, you know, forget it. I need to record it. So you record it as a 4-bar loop. And then the next stage is, I'm going to put some drums on it. Yeah, because that's cool. And you get some drums on there. And you think, okay, I'm going to play the bass part. On the bass. And you've got 4 bars now of a guitar part and drums and a bass guitar. And you think, I'm going to put some high guitar. Wow, this is really singing now. Oh, but I'm not completely happy with the guitar tone here, or I'm not completely happy with this synth tone. I'm going to jump in and put a little bit of reverb on there. I'm going to jump in, I'm going to start compressing, I'm going to start EQing, I'm going to start mixing. 4 bars. You do that. Some time has gone, an hour's gone. You've really got in there. You've got 4 amazing bars of idea and music that are happening. And then you've got to go off and live life. And you save it and you call it something like idea number 67, or Monday's great idea, or this is a funky riff, stroke 51. Again, I've been there, I've done this, so this is why I'm sharing this night. And then you come back to it and you listen to it, oh, that's pretty cool, but I've got no idea what to do with it. So you close it down, and the next day you come up and you're playing something along the, you know, you're jamming around on your keyboard, on the guitar, or you're creating some beats or whatever you're doing, and you'll go. Roll forward to the next day and you start, you know, you pick up the guitar and you pick up a synth, you're creating some beats. It's a completely new beat, it's a completely new day, you're completely inspired in a different way, and you're like, oh, I like that. Quick, jump in the DAW, set it in, record that. I can't forget that idea. You record the chord pattern. Oh, I can get a nice. I'll put the bass down. You see what's happening. We do this again and again and again, and then we become stressed because we've got 10,000 ideas and none of them are complete, and it's not helping with our creative freedom. And we're all going, you kind of get drawn in by the weight of all these ideas that you have. Now, if you want to be successful, if you want to do it, you've got to complete a song. So this is the process. First of all, you take this idea. Whatever it is, if it's a drum loop, if it's a bass part, if it's that riff, you take that, and this is the bit. You play it and you play it until you can't forget it, or if it's not good enough and you forget it the next day, it's like, well, it was never good enough. But you have to put it together with something else. And that something else could just be the same chord progression. You write the song there and then. And this doesn't mean you can't tweak it at future points. That doesn't mean this is how it's going to be as you go through. But you have to complete a full piece of music. This is the secret. If you're creating a 4-bar loop and you're creating this great beat and you've got this great chordal pattern in Logic or whatever, Ableton, don't just stick with the 4 bars. Draw it out. Actually sketch it out. Remember, this is the key word. That's sketch it out until it is the full piece. 3 minutes, 4 minutes, however long you think it's going to be. Just sketch it out completely. And then you've got a song. Then you've got a foundation that you can work from. Then you can call it a song. Then you can start adding in the other parts. And as you maybe start adding in the other parts, things will change. So you start sketching it out and you've got the idea. You form it, you make it into a complete piece of music that you can play from start to finish. Either you can play it on the guitar from start to finish, you can play it on the keyboard, you can play the synth part from start to finish. This is how you do it. This is it. It's this simple. You create a whole piece from start to finish that you can play from start to finish. That takes it from being an idea into a workable sketch of a song. And of course, yeah, you know, you're playing the chord here, you think, okay, second time round I'm going to change that into a different chord. Change the order. That's when you start working it. When you've got a structure, when you've got an idea in your mind of where you're going, you need to have more than just see, we're forming something here, and this process is not something that happens that quickly. But the difference is we're not committing it to a 4-bar idea that we are then tweaking and editing and, you know, doing all that work on the minute detail when we haven't seen the bigger picture of where the song is. So if we take that amount of hours that we spend creating the perfect 4 bars and actually put it into shaping, crafting the idea of the song, you know, we've got these 3 chords. I just made those up. I quite like them now. I might do this process. I might spend a few hours or however long it takes to create this into a song. What I will say is, if you've got this cool idea, yeah, if you think, oh, I might forget that because I'm rushing for a bus now, or I've got to do all these jobs, or, you know, something else, or I'm actually working on another project, I'm mixing it, but at the same time this cool idea came up. Yes, record it, but record it as roughly as possible. Get your phone out, you know, get a little, you know, I tend to use one of these, a field recorder. I always have one of these handy. Again, there I have lots of ideas. I'm not saying don't have ideas and not keeping ideas, but I have them in an idea where I, you know, when I'm then sitting on a day where nothing is coming, I can just flick through these unpolished ideas and the gems will come out and go, oh, that's a really cool riff. I'm going to work on that today. As opposed to I've got this perfectly polished 4 bars which I really don't know what to do with, because these 4 bars sound great and I'm just getting so locked into them. This is how you write songs. You just write them. It's that simple. And you just finish them, and you just finish the structure. You don't get caught up in idea-itis where you just make the most amazing polished mastered demos, you know. And I'm not saying, I have been there, I have done that. I've got some on this computer. I've probably got some 4-bar loops or 8-bar loops which I've actually taken to mastering level, you know, because that's the flow you get into, and this is what these things suck us into. So another stage, I should have put this in a bit earlier, is when you are writing these ideas with your synth or with guitars, with loops, try and find a way that you can turn this off, or you can go to another space. With this instrument, it's really easy. If I'm trying to write an idea, I will go to another space where these things are, or I will the way I do it in here is also I turn the screens off and I look at my amp. My amps are all over here, and in front of me here is my amp rack. I will look towards that, and that puts me in the mindset of being a guitar player, and I'm not worried about all this recording malarkey. I've got my little recorder on, it's recording, and actually I tend to leave it recording all the time, just in case I come up with a nice little lick and I can kind of learn that. But I'm in a different mindset. So again, with synths, just play the synth parts, don't worry about recording them. And the benefit of this is particularly for guitar players, is you actually learn your own songs. You play them so many times, they fall under the fingers, you learn them. As something I've done, I've recorded some snippets of ideas and what I've called songs, and then I can't remember them and I've got to spend time relearning them. But if you invest time in a song and developing it and developing the structure, you won't forget it. It's that simple. There you go. So thank you for watching. I hope this hasn't been too ranty, and I hope you found it useful. I hope you can apply these techniques. I will be in due course, because as I said, I get asked a lot of questions around this, showing you some techniques for how you might start writing songs, because that's one of the problems. I get asked, how do you write a song? Which is your approach? How do you approach? I don't have a fixed approach. My approach varies, so I'm going to share with you guys the secrets of the way I tend to approach writing music and some of the things that I do. So I hope you found that useful. I've been Brucey. If you like my channel, please do hit subscribe. Please do tell your friends. It means a lot to me that you hit the like button down below. Please leave me a comment, and again, if you've got any questions, just drop them in the box below, or send me an email, or find me on one of the various social media forms. I've been Brucey, take care, and I will catch you later.